Hello, my name is Christian Lee here for Earworm Digital, and we're here with.
Inji.
And how you doing today? It's first day of the tour. I mean, you did say things a little bit chaotic, but I'm sure everything will go well, right?
Overall, I'm doing fantastic. This whole week, I've been overwhelmed with joy because tour is the most fun thing ever. It's just that 2 day getting it all started was a bit chaotic, so you caught me in a panicky moment. But I'm good now.
No, everything will be good. Everything will be good. But how excited are you? Because this is your first full length tour, huh?
It's my first time going on the road. I've done one-off shows, which was fun, but it was so much easier because you'd have one show, one outfit, and be like, okay, I'm going home now. So I'm not actually on the road yet. My number one goal for the tour was don't have a mental breakdown. Like, if you can get through every show, love you, kudos.
Yeah. And I think it's crazy because you say it's your first time going on the road, but you're not just doing it in America. You're also doing it across in Europe and everything too.
Yes, a big, very long road that we're going on. We're going all the way from LA up to Canada to the East Coast and then crossing over to Europe into Turkey, and that's kind of the last stop. It's a lot of different cities. I'm really excited.
Is the tour ending in Turkey?
Actually, it's ending in London.
Oh, well, that's still good for you though, because you did live in the UK for a little bit.
I did. I lived in the UK for 2 years. When I was 17, and discovered club culture, and it kind of changed my life. But I do love the UK. I love going back. London is one of these shows I'm most excited about for sure. It was, it's just kind of like the birthplace of everything. I feel like.
Yeah, you're excited to be in London. Everyone else is excited because you did just drop your EP.
I did.
We good.
We're good. I did just drop an EP, which is crazy because I haven't even been thinking about it because I'm thinking about tour. But as a musician, just dropping music feels great. Dropping this EP feels extra special. This is the first time I feel like I'm putting out music that shows a lot of new things about me to the audience. In the beginning, I made a lot of dance music where I didn't sing that much or talk about the most deep topics ever. But I think this EP's has so many more corners to discover. There's songs that are disco funk that I'm singing my butt off, and there's a jazz drum and bass track, which is these are dreams come true for me because I come from a background of jazz and classical music, but have been kind of making electronic music. So making a mesh of those two, it's just an EP I could talk about for a very long time.
And another thing you could talk about for a long time too is because a feature you do have on the EP is the legend Nile Rogers. That's crazy.
Oh my God. I mean, could literally give a whole full length movie about this. But yes, I have a collaboration with Nile Rogers on the EP, which is ridiculous to me because he's the founder and legend of dance music. And unironically, the song is called Sexy Forever, and it keeps saying, I'll be sexy forever, I'll be sexy forever, whatever. It doesn't matter if I'm aging or growing up. I have all the time in the world to conquer it. And obviously Nile Rogers inspired that feeling very much so because I met him. He's 70 now, and he's a 30-year-old inside. He's touring the world in a glittery blazer, up to date with literally all of the new technology. It was so inspiring. I met him, and my immediate thought was, I just really hope I live a life like that. I hope I'm just like him when I grow up. And then, having him on the song is so special. I'm so happy he liked it and wanted to be on it. But dream come true. Pinch me moment.
I think another cool one you have is the other feature you have with Flyana Boss.
Yeah. Oh, I love them. Ugh.
That one happened though because I think it's cool because both of you guys originally, you both started getting traction on TikTok, and now you guys have a song.
Well, I loved them because I think we also make kind of similar vibe music in terms of it's lighthearted, it's funny, and I'd been following them for a very long time. We were looking for a feature because I think the song just needed it. And I actually imagine, I remember my manager saying what about Flyana Boss? And I was like, they're not gonna do it, no chance. And then they loved the song and they wanted to do it. and I adore them, and I think it added exactly what the song needed. And you know what? There might be a little surprise today. They might be popping out.
Must see show. Too bad people watching this interview they won't be able to see it unless they're at the show, you know.
They are. Yeah.
But I think it's cool too because but one of my favorite songs from listening to EP today too is "Girls." That's a good one.
Yeah. Thanks.
And I think it's funny because you said like on this EP you're exploring more genres, like back to your roots a little bit more, like jazz and everything. But I think it's funny because like the first few songs that really blew up for you were the fun dancing ones, and it's all because of your mom, right?
My mom.
She's one's like, hey, like we need these songs to be more dancing.
Oh.
I want to dance to this.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't told that story in a while, but I grew up in classical music. I was a very serious classical pianist in Istanbul, Turkey. I was at the conservatory. It was like the scary, like Russian teachers kind of place. I wasn't a top student, but I did graduate. I did my thing. And then I started dabbling in a lot of jazz. So that I did music every day for hours and hours, but it was a completely different area of it. So the anecdote I think you're referring to is my mom wouldn't listen to my jazz. This isn't songs I'm writing. Like I'd do like a performance and I'd send her a video. It's like a 7-minute long video because jazz songs are very long. A minute in, she'd be like, "Great, bravo!" And I was like, I don't sing until minute 3. Like she didn't watch it. I know she didn't watch it. We'd have like big band shows, and big bands have like 50 members in them, and the audience would also be 50 members. So like everyone's mom or dad came. No one could bring both their parents. So my mom was definitely an inspiration in terms of like she is the mainstream listener, and she just didn't. Her own daughter made jazz, and she was like, nope, not gonna listen to it. So I think when we were thinking about if I'm gonna write music, what should it sound like, we were just like, let's just make it fun.
And she didn't listen to your jazz music, but you've been doing music for a while. So what did you listen to like growing up? Like what made you want to do music?
Well, I didn't want to do music. This was not in the plans. I was doing finance. But I listened to Amy Winehouse is like my number one of all time. Number one inspiration, the person I listen to most. So many reasons, but like I could say I think her lyrics are extremely unique and honest, and her performance is another level. Like it's like she's crying to the song or laughing to the song. It's amazing. So she's my number one inspiration. I did unfortunately listen to a lot of jazz and classical and choral music. I loved it. It's actually very peaceful. If you ever are like, I can't really do pop music right now, put on some like choral. It's great. It's very relaxing. Yeah, but I guess what got me into music was classical piano, because I was pretty young, and when I started playing like actual pieces, it just showed me, like I can create sounds and it calms me down, or it gives me a happy feeling. But yeah, I think I discovered my love for music very young, just not dance music.
Well, despite that though, throughout this interview I could tell, because you said before you did music too, you were thinking about doing something in business. Yeah. And I feel like, you kind of have to be extroverted for that too. And just talking to you too,
Right.
You seem pretty extroverted. And we have some mutual friends. I'm wondering, can we take this to the next step? Do you think we could be friends though?
Oh my God, please. I mean, I considered us friends from just having this conversation, but I'd love to be your friend.
Love that. And a thing I love to do for my friends is give them gifts. So I have some gifts for you. It is the first day of the tour. First day of the tour, but, I'm sure you could lug these around. But first one is, you did mention her. Yeah. It's Amy Winehouse live at Glastonbury.
Oh my God, you're going to make me cry. I'm actually having such a stressful day, and this means the world to me. You're too kind. Aw, thank you. This is crazy. I've actually watched this. Oh, amazing, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck?
And I want to do a little bit more classical in a sense, where it's like a little bit cinematic in a way. I heard you're a fan of this movie. It's Interstellar.
Did you see this from my TikTok? Wait, where did we see this? This is so cute. What? Oh. You guys, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. Oh, that actually made my day. So lovely. Oh.
Okay, before we end the interview, we have a few more questions too. Maybe a few questions, maybe only some friends of yours would know. Who knows? First one is it true that I think this is true, you co-founded a fraternity, right?
I did. I co-founded an entrepreneurship fraternity. It's like, like business frats. Mm-hmm. It's like one of those, but we were like, let's bring kids who want to make startups together. And this actually ties into why I ended up like making a song, is because I found that then the next year I was president and I didn't have a startup. I was like, I'm such a fake out. Like, I have no pursuits. And then one of my friends was like, just like try making some music. And I was like, I will. But yes, it is true. Sigma ate a pie.
Well, speaking of that, though, I think, you said you had no startups. I think that's not true. I'm going to show you a video right now.
Large globalization, we've become increasingly disconnected from what we claim to have already.
Yeah.
Local letter.
Local letter.
The dangers of global warming.
This is so funny. The world has to see that. Yeah, so I wanted to be an entrepreneur. That was kind of the goal. And then I always say like, oh, music kind of came out of nowhere, but it didn't really. This is kind of being an entrepreneur, just in the universe like pushed me in the right direction. I was like, well, why don't you make a startup in the area you love most? That's so fun.
And the last thing I want to know is that
something juicy's coming.
I'm just thinking because, let me start it off. You were in an all-gender acapella, Counterparts.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Pen Counterparts were great. John Legend was in Pen Counterparts. Actually met him when I was in Counterparts. He came.
Uh-huh. Like, if they made Pitch Perfect 4, you could have easily fit in there.
It was like my life for the first 2 years of college was this acapella group. I love them. Shout out Counterparts. You're the best. You're in my life.
And speaking another part of your life, too, while you were in college, you remembered, like, this group that you were in. Like, I think it was Combo 4, right?
Combo 4. Oh, and that was my little jazz band. We have a song out actually as Combo 4 that I'm singing on. But yeah, and well, another funny story. So I had this little jazz band. We messed around. UPenn doesn't have a great music program, so not a lot of musicians come. It was just like the random ones. Yeah. And we did gigs around frats, like we do their date nights and stuff. One day my drummer gets sick, I get a substitute drummer, and this guy is like, hey, like, do you want to come over? I make beats. And I was like, sure. And that random interaction was me making Gaslight. He gave me the beat for Gaslight. I gave it to the like rapper at school because I had a crush on him. I was like, hey, can you help me write a song on this beat? And then the song we made ended up being Gaslight. And I say this all the time in all my interviews, so sorry to be annoying, but like, we made it thinking like, oh, this is just us messing around in a dorm room.
I mean, originally he made the beat, he labeled it like just like trash.
He literally labeled it trash. It was in his trash goodbye folder saying house beat 120. How did you know all this? I love it. And that's Alex Graff and Heist with a $sign are the collaborators. And then, so the beginning of my music career was just us kind of in a dorm room making these songs from college. And I think that's why it worked, because it was just friends having fun. Yeah, so I try to keep that alive.
Glad it worked, because here we are now.
Here we are now. Yeah.
And Inji, thank you for taking time to do the interview. I've had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. I had a fantastic time. You made my day.
I'm glad. Well, I mean, made your day until, you perform your first
Well,
show.
I guess that will also be fun.
But before we turn off the camera, though, because this interview is for you. We're here because of you. So is there anything else you'd like to say before we end the interview?
Okay, I just want to say, these few days getting ready for the tour, I've been crying out of how grateful and happy I feel. If you're someone who's been listening to my music, coming to shows, interacting in any way, I love you. I thank you so much for being a part of this, and I hope that my music has been able to make you a bit more happier or a bit more energetic in a day. Yeah.